well, I've got to. It's going to take a few minutes, but we're not even to the bottom of the hour, so here we go. And I said this on Gary's show once before, Gary Anderson's, and I'll say it here. And this investigation happened, I'm going to say, 11, 12 years ago.
Okay.
And there's an area where people disappear east of Santa Fe. That's, the slang is, the Pecos Triangle, a takeoff on the Bermuda Triangle, and people disappear that mysteriously, just like it disappeared into thin air. Well, most psychics are as phony as a $3 bill.
Yes.
There are some that are legit, and I was with one that was legit. She's now retired out of the country. She lives in Corcovado, and there is old Route 66 used to come into Santa Fe. And then in 1970, 71, it was bypassed with the interstate. And there are still sections of old Route 66 on 1930s road that, in essence, run from Chicago to Santa Monica, California. And these sections are one lane coming, one lane going, and they're either frontage roads or they're roads that are used by maybe a farmer or a rancher, etc. And there was this one area that the psychic said that there was activity.
Okay.
I didn't get any activity at this spot there, but she was this good that I trusted her on her. And I had other people go to this area. It's old Route 66, and they felt something there too. So we went on up there one night, and in this area of old Route 66, it's segmented, and you're going to have a couple of dirt roads going on off to the right-hand side, etc., to get to a farmhouse or ranch. So you're not going to be having any traffic on this road from, in essence, from, 6:30, 7 o'clock at night all the way to maybe 7:30 in the morning on this road. So the road's going to be like the old racetrack in Trenton, New Jersey, like a dog leg on it. And we get on out, and she says that there's some energy down the road where the old highway starts to bend to the right, and there is a stand of trees there. So I park my pickup truck, and we get on out, and of course we're equipped, and we've got 2 flashlights, and we start walking down this one lane coming, one lane going. And it's nighttime. It's not a full moon, but there's good starlight, and with the clouds, we're able to see pretty darn good. And she is one of those types, and like I told Tombstone Anderson there, she's like this one Vietnamese guy that, well, he's probably dead by now, but used to get in this trance and be able to find the remains of servicemen, etc., NVA, VC, etc., there on the battlefields. And she's that way, so she starts and she just locks on in. And it's not, dramatic like doing the zombie stuff, but kind of close to it. Okay, she tells me there's something on up there in those trees. So we're walking on up this blacktop, and one of my I turn on the flashlight, and it doesn't work. Now, mind you, the other flashlight we had checked them before, and now they're not working. And the other one, you talk about the being drained. Not that it drained when it came on, but it was. I couldn't believe this. So it's like the slasher movie. Okay, we got something coming our way. And I tell her, let's go back to the truck. And we're about 40 yards from the truck. She says, no, there's something on up there. And I say, oh, no, and I'll stay right here. And I said, okay. So I run back to the truck. I get underneath pull underneath the seat, and I have 2 other flashlights. Now, if these aren't going to work, then, we're going to scrub it. And they work fine. So she is not staying in where she's supposed to stay. She's doing that herky-jerky zombie kind of stomp, walking on up there, because when she gets locked on, she really gets locked on. And her name was Boricua. And so I close the door, and there where the truck is parked, the driver's side, there's going to be a small clearing, a field, whatever you want to call it, and there's trees surrounding it. And there I hear the most beautiful ballad, Western ballad that I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
And I turn on the flashlights again this way, this direction, where the field is. And I think to myself, there's got to be a hobo. Somebody's playing a trick on me at this clearing, and nobody's there. And in my mind, and you're a psychic, so you'll get this.
Yes.
So in my mind, I get a vision there where the drive-in screen is, where the forehead is. I get the picture of a guy that's going to look like William Conrad in his prime. And to those on out there who don't know who William Conrad was, he was the actor. He was the voice of on the radio of Matt Dillon on the Gunsmoke radio series. Later on in 1970, he had a TV private eye program called Cannon. Well, I see him, and I see a guy, the best way I can describe it, somebody who looks like him, beefy, strong, black wavy hair, singing this song. And, of course, one of the things about me that is good or bad is I end up always trying to say, this can't be right. There's got to be a reason. I'm looking around with the flashlight, and I got full beams on these two flashlights, and there's nothing there. And the voice is at roughly about face level. Let's just say it's about, 12 feet away, 3 yards away, etc. And then it goes back a little bit with this, and then it rises on up to maybe about, I'm going to say, a story and a half, 12 feet, 15 feet on up there. And I'm looking around again, and there's nothing there, and I cannot believe it. So I move the flashlights to Boricua, who's still doing that zombie stomp, walking on up the road there, and I flash them. I whisper and then yell on out to her, but she's locked on in, and she doesn't hear me, and that voice starts to recede a little bit. Yeah. And I'm looking at it, and I don't want to let go of what I'm trying to find on out there. There's nothing there. And so I start to walk towards this field. And as I go towards this clearing, this glade, whatever you want to call it, I get to the point now of where the trees on my right-hand side are going to obscure the view of the psychic, this Caribbean lady who's walking on up the road there. Okay. So if I go any further and I move my head to the right, then she's out of sight. And this voice is receding and receding away from me. In other words, and I want to follow it. And I'm looking with all through with the flashlights, 180 degrees. Then even beyond that, there's got to be a hobo. I'm getting pranked. And I think to myself, if I go on after this voice, then what's going to happen to this woman that I'm with, this psychic? And of course, you can't do that. When you're doing something like this, you're a comrade, and it takes everything that I've got to break away from that and not get out of line of sight of this woman, because right now I'm just on the very edge because I stepped so far into the glade and where the trees are, etc. And if I go any further, she's going to be out of sight as I'm cocking my head to the right and looking ahead of me and back to the right, then ahead of me. So I break off and I go running on off, and now she's maybe about 80 yards away from the pickup truck or so, maybe 100 yards. And I go running on up to her, and she doesn't hear me as I go running on up to her and yell at her, and I finally have to grab her. And what's going on there, Alan? And I said, didn't you hear me? Didn't you see the flashlights blinking? No, there's something up in the trees on up there. That's nothing. There's something back in that small field back there. Come with me. So what, Alan? But there's come with me. So we go running on back there. There's nothing there. We turn on all the floods, back the truck, turn the truck around. We search that area. There's no footprints. There's no sign of any human any type of animal or human being there. It's whatever it was gone. And I tell her what had happened. Now I go back day after day, morning and afternoon, saying, I'm going to find something here. There's got to be an explanation, again, to some...
Okay.
Nothing, yeah.
My question to you right now, when you're saying you're hearing the voice, of the spirit singing. What was the energy like? What was the attraction to it?
It was such a rich baritone voice.
Okay.
And baritone voices, are not that attractive. I mean, you really, the only ones I can think of that are that well are maybe some Soviet or Russian singers, singing, the Volga Boatman type of song. But this one was a Western ballad of love, etc. And I wish I could remember some of the refrain or some of the words. I cannot.
Okay.
And but the vibration, and again, too, you're going to catch on to this because of vibration and pogie bait, vibration for different types of people of what they're attracted to. Some people can, enjoy the negative type of vibration that you're going to have at a demonic rock and roll concert versus something on else
right.
at a higher level.
No, satanic stuff for me or you, I think, right?
Right. I mean, you look at what happened at Altamont in '69. I mean, that was basically invoking for the Luciferians. I mean, people went there to have a good time, but they didn't know what they were getting involved in. And look at, it's still debated how many murders happened on over there during that concert. And that was when the Hells Angels did their security, etc., on and on.
There's a feeling I have that you guys have a past of not you guys, but the Santa Fe area, a lot of witchcraft, correct?
Yes.
Do you think there's any type of satanic underground or anything around that people don't know about?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of it, and all kinds, and it comes in all different types of forms. Cult, satanic, different type of cult. They'll say that they're not satanic, but they are. Yeah.
Right.
But I want to finish this theme on over here, Spaz, on this here, is that, okay, so nothing's there in this field. Now, the thing about this is that this is like about 2 years before Mel Nadel, and that's on the website, SantaFeGhostAndHistoryTours.com. Go to that website. You're going to see on the left-hand side the menu, the buttons you can press, and you see the Pecos Triangle, etc. Now, Mel's another guy that disappeared farther to the east of where I was on at, and there's other people before and after that have disappeared on up there. So, as I was telling Tombstone on the show there, a couple of weeks later, after this had happened, it dawns on me, this intelligent energy, and I was thinking that it was on after the female psychic that I was with. No, it was after me. And I thought to myself, geez Louise, if I had gone on out there, it's... okay, adios, Alan. I mean, do I disappear into a dimensional hole? Does something come and take me out into another dimensional Stargate? Who knows what? But in other words, I was what's honey to the bear? That baritone voice that I was listening to, I wanted to see where it was at, and I wanted to go and I had to see what it was, but again, too, with this, who I was with, I could not do that because I thought she was the one that it was trying to separate us. But no, it was after me.
Amazing. And you talk about Mel. He was that one guy. He's still gone, right? Still gone today.
Right.
And he was a black belt in karate. He wasn't a wimp. This guy was strong, and there was no footprints, no evidence of where he went.
Exactly. For those that are, if anybody has any theories about this or inside information, you can always contact me on my website and email me on this. But Mel's just one of a number of people that's disappeared on up there. And as you said, Mel, to describe him, he's going to be a short version of Terry Hanratty, the Notre Dame quarterback. And he has the Beatles, Ringo Starr type haircut when Terry Hanratty was a quarterback for the Steelers back in the 70s. Not Terry Bradshaw, Terry Hanratty. And Mel was nobody's fool. He was had a gym, Pilates, or however you want to say that word, Pilates. gym. He had a